Welcome to Traveling Oracle, the magical podcast, where we talk energetics, spirituality, and how you can use this etheric knowledge to drastically change, transform, and up-level all areas of your life. Are you ready for the glow up? Let's go. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to another episode. I hope you had a lovely week. I hope you had a lovely January. I feel like I want to say that moved quickly, but I feel like that's a lie. It kind of moves quickly for me though, because I was doing a lot of things in preparation for this new year, having a lot of new realizations for this, calendar new year. I'm realizing that I don't want to move through the world in the same way that I have been moving through the world. I realize that I want to do things a lot differently, even in my business with coaching and teaching. I'm ready for a change, and I'm out here fishing. I'm out here meditating. I'm out here talking to spirit guides, and I'm like, what is it? What is it? Show me. And I don't know if any of you guys are feeling that way. I was on social media and I saw another friend before I left Bali mention the same thing in his stories, the desire to move through the world in a different way now. Then again, he and I are always mirroring each other. I don't know if he knows that, but I've noticed. So it might be a collective energy around, perhaps. Perhaps you're also feeling the need for huge changes in your life. I mean, New Year's tends to bring that out in people. But outside of that, I feel like there is an energy of shifting, of making something new or moving in a new way. Let it come in and ask it to show you all the ways that you can be new this year, all the ways that you can renew your spirit, move in a new way, relate to people in a new way, and make sure that you connect that new way to an upgraded version of whatever it is you had in 2023. Because, girl, we're not going back. Sorry, I always say girl like boys don't listen to my podcast. Y'all, we are not going backwards. We're going forwards. Forward movement. And on that note, I just heard what this podcast is about, or I should say, I have just heard confirmation about what this is going to be about. This is going to be about the in-between. The in-between, because I have a feeling most of the people who listen to my podcast are like me in many ways. And in this episode, the thing that I'm gonna focus on is ambition, the desire to be more. You know, we were growing up in a society that tries to mold us into ambitious people, which is beautiful, which is lovely. But the back end, and it's not even the back end of ambition, it's toxic ambition. That's the problem. We've grown up with this mentality that we always need to be more. Wherever you are in life, you get this feeling that where you are is not good enough. And that's the toxicity or the toxic backside of ambition. And you know, as I'm sitting there, I was looking at the word ambition in energy, and life is such a funny thing, because if you don't have ambition, that's a problem. But if you have way too much, that's also a problem. And it comes back to the things I used to talk about in my early days on this podcast. And when I started spirituality and, speaking about spirituality, balance. Everything in this world, everything in this life is all about balance. Because balance is wholeness. When you look at sickness, every sickness out there that you can ever think of is as a result of an imbalance of different things in your body. Once you reestablish that balance in your body, the sickness goes away. Any sickness you could possibly think about. And it's the same thing with every other aspect of our life. Something can be extremely good for you, extremely lovely. But if you go too much to one end and cause an imbalance, that once beautiful thing, that once healthy thing, that once nurturing thing can turn toxic. If there is one lesson that you need to learn in your life to make your life easier, smoother, and to be more whole as a person, whether in health, whether in spirituality, whatever it is, it's balance. If you're having an issue somewhere, the first question to ask yourself is, where have I caused an imbalance in this area? The second question is, how can I restore the balance? And that sounds like a simple concept, but when I tell you that is the key, yeah, that's like a life hack. Where have I caused the imbalance and how do I restore the balance? Y'all, I'm out here dropping gems. Thank you, Spirit. Well, I've been sitting here for 5 minutes trying to remember how the heck I got on balance. But anyway, we're talking about the in-between. And what is the in-between? It's the space between where you are and the achievement of your goal. The space between where you are and that moment in time where you achieve the goal. And society, that's what I was talking about, okay? And society has engineered our minds in a way that we are not content, we are not happy, we are not fulfilled until we achieve that space in time where we get that thing. Like, there is nothing that helps us to understand how important the in-between is. It's like you have no value as a student until you have crossed that graduation stage and achieved that degree. You have no value until you finally find that life partner. Up until that moment, you're nothing. And it's a weird thing where it fuels the desire or fuels your action towards the thing, but it also works against you in a lot of ways in energy and in your mental state. And personally, I struggle with the in-between. Y'all, I'm an Aries, I'm a fire sign. I want to go, I want to achieve, I want to get. And while I've done a lot to calm that down, as in I'm not a person who is like doing a million things at one time, but in my mind, I'm planning a million things at one time. I'm always trying to get to the end, trying to achieve the thing. And because I'm living in the constant state of trying to achieve the thing, I'm never satisfied in the now. Never. And it was a problem that I didn't realize was a problem until this year. Until last month, actually, when I got the guidance very clearly to slow down. As a matter of fact, they said, stand still. I said, stand still? I thought I was being extremely still. I have my meditation practice. I relax during the days. I take a break. I would take a nap. I would take I was like, I am the queen of slowing down now. And Spirit revealed to me, you are in your physical actions, but your being is not still. You have not mastered being, which is the most basic state of a human. Why we're called human beings. The most basic thing that we can do is to just be. And we mess that up sometimes. We mess that up a lot because as soon as we are popped out, we are programmed to go, to do in order to achieve, to do in order to be somebody, to go, to try. And Spirit is like, you don't need to try so hard to be anything. You don't need to try so hard to do anything. You already are. You're called a being because you already are it. You don't need to do anything to become anything. You've been popped out. That sounds so vulgar, but whatever. You've been popped out as everything you will ever need to be. Wholeness. Everything you will ever need to be in this lifetime. And some people I can hear, they're like, oh, well, what about people who are born with birth defects? What about people, and I'm like, that's a physical vessel. Think of the body as a car. If you had an incident and you bent the fender on your car, or in the incident a part of your car got damaged, it can still drive, it can still go, but a part of it got damaged, and you were driving around in this car with a damaged part. Does that make you less of a person? You, the person who's inside the car driving? Did that change who you are in any way? Did that take away from any of your achievements in life? Do you still have your degree? Do you still have your loving family? Do you still have your friends? Do you know what I mean? Did that change anything about the person who is inside the car? No, it didn't. So just because you might have damage on your vessel, you are still whole, honey. You are still whole. That doesn't change anything about the spirit inside the vessel. So I want you to look at your life right now. Do you see this problem showing up in your life? This issue of not being able to enjoy the journey to the destination. This issue of feeling like you have no value until you achieve the things you set out to achieve this year. This feeling of I have no value until I get the right partner. I have no value until I have the children. I have no value until I have the degree. This idea of you not being good enough until you get this thing. And I'm going to let you in on a secret. It's a mirage. You know why? And most of you on this podcast are old enough to identify this in your life. Once you achieve that thing, it's like the clock resets and then tells you you have no value until you get the next thing. And so when you arrive at the goal, you still don't feel wholeness. Why is that? You thought, oh my gosh, 4 years to get this bachelor's degree. As soon as I get this degree, everything's going to be great. I'm going to feel like this. I'm going to feel like that. You get the degree and then the student loans hit. You get the degree and then you can't find a job. Now your value is pushed further down the road. All right, I'll feel better when I pay off these loans and I have a zero balance. I'll feel better when I get that great job that I was looking for and I'm secure. I'll feel better when, and your value keeps getting pushed down the road. Your peace of mind keeps getting pushed down the road. And this is the mirage of toxic ambition. It leaves you feeling like you are never enough, you never have enough, and you are never in a state of being enough. And Spirit says enough is enough. You need to find wholeness. You need to find value in wherever you are right now in the present. As you are without any of those things, can you find value in yourself here? Can you find peace in yourself here? Without the partner, without the kids, without the degree, without a certain amount in the bank account, can you find peace, love, and value in yourself right here, right now? And I'm going to give you a moment to reflect on that. I'm going to let a minute or two just run out as you reflect on that right now. There is life to be lived in the in between. I was on TikTok the other day and I saw a creator speak about this, and I was like, ooh, powerful and exactly what I needed to hear. There is life to be lived in between your goals, in between your achievements, in between the best, quote unquote, the best versions of yourself. There is life to be lived in the in between. And most of you are not enjoying the journey. You're not enjoying the life in the in between. Slow down. Know that your goals are there and you will achieve them. But until then, the present is where it's at. And you know what happened to me when I slowed down my desires to achieve, my desires to be more? I realized that I was missing so many things. Once I slowed down and found comfort and found value in where I am now, just sitting outside on the grass instead of hustling in my room, trying to put some content together, trying to figure out what's my next program, trying to figure out this. I was like, you know what? The message was be still. Let me go outside and for an hour just lay here in the grass and be. So many things were revealed to me in that moment. And then I consciously slowed myself down. No haste, Akil. Everything that I do, just be a bit more intentional. Just know that everything is okay. And this is going to look different for everyone because I had to sit with that guidance of be still. And I said to myself, okay, what does this mean for me? What could this mean? What could this look like? And as I moved through what this could look like and I tried different things, eventually I found what it meant for me or how it felt like for me. And as soon as I felt that and I sat in that in a constant state for days, so many downloads, y'all. So many upgrades in energy, so many dreams where I'm shown things, so many realizations. Akil, your income is up and down right now. Here's why. Couldn't see it before, could not see it before. But in that moment of slowing down, in that moment of knowing that I have value now, in that moment of peace now, I found all of the answers I was desperately, frantically running around trying to find. And Spirit said to me, you were not going to find the answers you needed in that frantic state that you were in. That's why you had to slow down so you could hear us more clearly. So you can see the patterns that are around you that are keeping you stuck, and you can see the way out. A lot of you have this complaint that, oh, things are always going, I don't want to say going bad. Things are always like looking up and then going bad, looking up and then going bad. Things are always, it's like I'm in a little circle. I hear that a lot from friends, from clients. I'm in a little circle. It'll go well for a month or 3 and then boom, really bad for another couple months. Then the sun will shine again and things are going great, then really bad. And I don't understand why. And you don't understand why because you're not hearing the guidance clearly. You're not seeing yourself clearly because you're stuck in a death loop of frantically trying to figure it out. It reminds me of like when you're watching a show and like something bad has happened and someone is freaking out, like out of their minds, yelling, screaming because something terrible just happened. And they're trying to find their way out of the situation, but they can't because they're freaking out. And a friend has to come and slap them or calm them down and say, listen, in this state, you are not going to survive. In this state, you are not going to figure anything out. It's the same concept here. We find ourselves in this death spiral of frantically trying to figure out what the problem is, but in that state, no solutions will come. In that state, we can't recognize help. And so Spirit is saying, slow down, calm yourself down. Stop frantically, desperately flapping around trying to achieve your goals. Go inward, be silent, and then try again in this new state of being. This new state of being where you realize your value lies with you. Your value lies in the present. When you realize that the true achievement is with you here and now in the present, and no moment in time, no moment in future, I should say, is ever going to be more important or more momentous than where you are right now in the present. Because the present is the only thing you truly have. You don't have the past, it's gone. You don't have the future, it's not here. What you really and truly have in the middle of your hands right now within your grasp is the present. The only thing you can truly control is the present moment. There is powerful energy in the present moment that we're constantly overlooking because we're looking at the future. And the future is not here. We can't grasp it. We can't feel it. It's not with us. We can't do much with the future but look at it and admire it. The past has been pulled out of our grasp. We don't have it. We can't touch it. The only thing we can do is look back at it. But you see the present moment, y'all? The present moment is where potential energy is in the air. The present moment is like clay. You can mold it into whatever you want, and it is the only state that you truly can make a difference in. Yet we overlook the present every day because we want to get to the future. We want to get to the future we've been promised. We want to get to the future we've been envisioning. Give the present some respect. Put some respect on the present's name. Okay? The present is the only state of being that you have any control over, that is amenable, that is movable, that is changeable. It's the so think of it in terms of computer. It's the only state that we can press the edit button and make it anything we want. Because in the present moment, we literally can do anything. Right now, I can go online, book a flight, and I can decide to just pause this podcast and go to the beach. I can change my trajectory right here. I can change to anything I want. I'm recording a podcast. I could get a flight to China right now in this moment. I could get up and go to the beach right now in this moment. I could get up and go visit a friend right now in this moment. I can't do it in the past. I could possibly do it in the future, but I have no control over that right now. The only thing I have control over is what I do right now. And from an energetic standpoint, y'all, when I look at the space of the present, oh, the energy there is crazy. The energy there is crazy. I'm looking at it and trying to translate into words what I see. It is so electrically charged. And I'm hearing that if more people try to manifest with presence, you will find that it is easier to bring thought into the material world. It is easier to pull thought out of energy and have it manifest in the present. Oh, got you. Because when you really think about it, y'all, when you really think about it, manifestations don't happen in the future. Manifestations can only happen in the present. Think about that. Manifestations can only happen in the present. You can never manifest something in the future. When it comes through, when your manifestation comes through, it's your present moment. Ooh, y'all, there are secrets in the present that are hiding and they're coming to light. That whole concept of presence. And this is why people do presence practices. I've seen a few people talking about doing a practice to keep you in the present. And in the past, I didn't see what the what the great draw was for the present, because I was definitely a future girl. Like, I mean, I'm a seer, so right, I'm always looking into the future, but Spirit is trying to redirect me and help me to get this message out that the true magic, the true power lies in the present. I never thought of it that way with the manifestations. Thank you, Spirit, for that message. Damn. Because when we think about it, when you look on TikTok, when you even the concepts as you understand it, you think of your manifestations as something that's out there in the future waiting for you. That's out there in the future. But truly, your manifestations will only occur in your present. How can you be more connected to your present moment? How can you be more present in your body, more present in the space and time where you're occupying right now? That's the message. And I'm going to suggest that you try to cultivate a presence practice. And I am hearing, I'm hearing that I should give some guidelines on a presence practice. So in the description, what's it called? It's not called a description on podcasts. In the show notes below, I'm going to put a link where you can sign up if you're interested in getting a little guide sheet about a presence practice and how to implement one, and some activities that you can do to bring yourself in the present. And I would say practice that for the month of February. And at the end of February, let me know what's shifted for you. Let me know how you're feeling mentally and spiritually, because it's going to have a profound effect on who you are, on how you see yourself and your... Oh, and let's not forget manifestation. I have a feeling that that's one block that has been blocking a lot of people. And once you play around with that concept of presence in manifestation, it's going to shift a lot for you. So check the link below. Let's get this presence practice on. And I want to ask you a favor. If you have listened all the way through and you've gotten to this point, I would really appreciate it if you would share this podcast episode with someone, maybe a close friend. Send a WhatsApp with the link, maybe on... I really want to get this podcast out to as many people as I can, because information like this is so integral in transformation, in ascension, in making the little changes in your life that just make it better. Sometimes it's just a perspective shift that shifts everything for a person. Thank you in advance, my loves, and I will see you in my next episode. Y'all, I'm going to be traveling to Jamaica. And so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to find a space that's favorable to recording. If you don't see an episode, I did not find a place, and I'll catch you guys in the next week. But hopefully, fingers crossed, that I'll find a good place to record this podcast. I love you guys if no one has told you that today, and all the best for the week ahead.